Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you. I am here once again. As I said, I will be showing up on this channel on a regular basis to uplift and encourage you guys. Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday. I know we all probably just went back to work yesterday, a short week. Also, I heard something, guys, about a storm coming, or actually a blizzard on Saturday night or into Sunday or something like that. Tell me in the comment categories if you heard about that. How bad did they say it was going to be? I'm not sure yet. I just hope we don't have any power outages because of it. But of course, we're in January, so um, you know, I think many of us thought we were going to get through another winter without seeing snow. But of course, we're going to see some of it. So I don't mind if it's just one time, but if it's a whole bunch of different storms, then, you know. But anyway, we'll see what happens, right? So, guys, how you feeling today? It's Wednesday. It's cold out, but the sun is out. That's a good thing. It's not raining. And I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you for showing up again and being here. Thank you for your comments because I've been getting your comments. And just continue to show up here and we can learn together. One of the things I'm learning too is that even though I look at things from a different perspective, now that I have my best friend in my life again, I was talking to her about something, um, that I had that I'll put it this way, something that needed my attention. And sometimes I read things and then I want to, I asked her opinion on what I was looking at. And she had a different opinion than mine because I saw it in a negative, and she saw it not so negative. And we talked about it. And it's really cool because she sees things differently, and then she tells me what she see and why she saw it that way, and it's pretty good. Really glad I have her back in my life, and it's good to have a friend, people. Even if you could be in a room sometimes full of people and you could still feel alone, and this particular friend, we've known each other since I was 14. She's a little older than me, but I know her whole family, her kids, everybody. So it's like having a family back again because that's how close we were, like sisters. So it's good that we reconnected, and it's always important to have that. What I'm learning through this journey or on this healing journey and on this journey called life. What I'm learning, people, is that because I still learn and grow just like everybody else, this is not a one man show. And, we help each other because there's things I'm still learning. Like when God closes one door, sometimes it can be painful, it can hurt, especially when it's family and people who you've known all your life, etc. But sometimes there's a reason that we don't understand at that particular time as to why he's closing those doors. And he may not close one door, he may close a few of them. And then we start to feel, and we start to be in our emotions about it because we don't understand why those doors are closing. But when you start getting closer to him and understanding and healing, you start to see things from a different perspective. And as I do that and start to look at these things, what I'm learning is that God will never close these doors without eventually opening up another door. And there's reasons. Sometimes it's for our safety, that doors close because some situations could be so toxic, and not just toxic but dangerous, and it could be danger that we don't even see coming. And so God will shut those doors, and we're left there feeling, you know in our emotions, but not understanding that we could have been in danger, and this is why those doors shut. And I now, as I continue to heal, I can appreciate that. Um, really can appreciate that. So the topic of discussion today is keep going. I always tell you guys keep going. Even if you fall down, get up again. There was a song in the 80s called I Get Knocked Down, but I Get Up Again. Nothing is going to keep me down. And I listen to music like that sometimes, especially when I start to feel a little low because we're all human. We get in our emotions sometimes, moods or whatever. And then the music flips that, especially certain songs. So, like when I was talking to my best friend yesterday, we were talking about something, and I like to use music to describe certain things. And I had her laughing so hard because, we were talking about something in particular, and I used two songs to describe how that situation made me feel. And, we just had a good laugh about it. And sometimes that's what we need to do, just laugh, instead of taking things too seriously all the time. But when you're in grief, it's hard to find the good. And I understand that. I've been there for a long time. And that's why I always talk about healing and going at your own pace. It's so important to go at your own pace. And you're going to fall down a few times. I fell down a whole lot of times, guys. I didn't want to do this healing, but it was necessary. It was either heal, you know, do the work, or drown, because when you're at the bottom, there's no other way to go but up. Or, you stay at the bottom and get lower and lower, you know, get less than zero. But, you know, God does things sometimes to show us what's around us. He removed those masks so that we can see what's behind those masks. But sometimes when we're going through grief, pain, trauma situations, we can't see what's around us. And then we take those blinders off, we can see the truth, we can see what's going on. And, those truths help me to get myself together, along with prayer and the word. I was falling off and on for a long time. And then I finally, it's like riding a bike. You get on the first couple of times, you fall down, you scrape your knee, you get back on again, you fall, and you keep going. You don't give up. And that's why the title of this discussion is Keep Going. You don't give up. Because that means if you give up, you're giving up on your mental health and your physical health. It's just like when something's wrong with our body, we go to a doctor to see what's wrong. And when we find out what's wrong, we take necessary medication, etc. You do that with your mental health as well. All those things I'm talking about, all these things I'm talking about is a priority. Mental, physical health is a priority, and it's important that we prioritize that and make that a priority above anything else. Because, like I always say on these videos, if we don't do that, then we can't take care of ourselves or anything else around us. So it's very important, people. Um, and sometimes, when you're on this path, this journey of healing, as I said in some prior videos, people don't want to see that. They want you to stay where they are. Some people don't want to heal. They just want to be where they are. And that's okay too, because that's their choice. But never allow anyone to make you feel like you have to stay in that space with them just because they want to stay there. You have options, you have choices. And if you want to heal things in your life, get on the bandwagon to do so. There's no shame to this, because as you start to stay on this healing path, and it's not easy, and you may not see results right away, but you will see results if you never give up and you keep going. And as you see those little results, you start to pat yourself on the back, and then you become glad that you never gave up or never gave in, because sometimes the noise around you is hard to ignore, and sometimes you get distracted by it. That was one of my problems, primary problems on this path of healing, pain and trauma and things like that. I had a hard time tuning out the noise around me, because as I start to grow and develop and start to go through all the pain and drama, everything associated with grief, you know, and then started to heal and start to really get serious about it, the noise felt like it was overwhelming. You know how you see a movie or something, somebody's in a room and the walls start to close in and they start to have those panic attacks, etc. That's how I start to feel, because not only was the noise around me um, just felt like it was getting louder, the gossip, the etc. You know, people saying whatever, you know, and as I continued to keep going, as I kept going and continue to heal, it's like it got faint. You know, the noise, you don't hear it as loud. And then the next day it's a little fainter and etc. and so forth. That's how it was until I learned to tune it out. And one of the ways that I tuned it out is block, cut off, and delete. And of course, I hear things, you know, you're going to have haters and people who want to stay in a place of low vibrational energy, and they can do that. But, you know, I choose to heal and to stay on this path. And I don't let the noise distract me anymore. In fact, what I do is tune it out, you know. And I have some notes here, just a little bit though. You know, as I heal and grow, what happens as I do more and more and stay on the path, I'm unbothered by these things. And those sometimes get like others, you know, who were a part of my life at one time or another, they get like really upset that I'm unbothered. And I'm unbothered because I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm focusing on me. I'm prioritizing my needs. Whereas in the past, I was focused on being subservient to everybody else, what they have going on to help them, and etc. And I was forgetting about my own needs, what's important to me. I matter as well. And so now I'm on a bandwagon to do that, especially after losing all these people during the shutdown. You know, it was a rude awakening and a wake up call for me, you know. And now what I'm doing now, you know, is letting people know, as you stay the course on healing trauma and pain in your life, you'll never get over the grief, but you can get through it. But as you start to heal, what happens is you start to self-love on yourself. And as you start to self-love, you're going to want to take care of yourself. You know, like right now, I'm drinking tea, right? I would never thought, guys, that I would be doing this because I love coffee so much. And the caffeine in it is just not good to have. Like, I used to have like 6 cups of it a day. I'm actually down to 2 doctor's orders. So what I do as a substitute, I go to Walmart and I get all these different teas. One of the teas that's really good when you work a lot and you know and you got a lot going on, sometimes your immune system get affected, you feel lethargic and you know like that. So I have like this tea which is immune support system, I mean immune support tea, and it helps to, you know, it's really good. And the different teas I take, green tea is good as well, you know, and I drink these things in between when I have break in between, and then I start to feel better. You know, when we feel better, we do better, and that comes with self love. And sometimes, you know, I've been in, I had associates in the past, people who were associates in my life, and they couldn't be alone at times. They couldn't understand how I could be alone. But when you love yourself, you don't have to have 1,000 people around you at one time, you know? And when I see that people can't be alone for even a short period of time with themselves, it feels like to me they don't love themselves. Because if you love you, you need time alone. Even if you're in a relationship, even if you're married and you have children, you always need to take time out to yourself. That's why at work, you know, we have these holidays and then we have vacation time because people need a break. You know, no one, I mean, a few people may do it if they're workaholics, but most people take vacations because they need a time out, a break. And even if you are married and you have children, you have other obligations, from time to time, you need a break so you can just relax, get away from it. Because then when you go back to it, you know, you're refreshed. You can, give your all and your best after, you take some time out for you. That's how it is with the healing process. And especially for me, because I was given and given to everybody else, and everything around me in my life was falling apart while I was given to everyone else. And I had to stop and take a look, especially with this rude awakening of losing 10 people during the shutdown, including my mother, my dog, etc. And just being at a low place. And everyone that I was being subservient to was nowhere around me, nowhere to support me. And that was a rude awakening, not only a rude awakening, but a wake up call for me to look at what I have around me. And, God will sit you down sometimes, sit us down to make us look at the bigger picture. Take your blinders off. Look at what's going on around you, so you can see the truth for what it is. And during that time, I stayed in prayer a whole lot. I do that also today. Every day I talk to God in prayer, you know. And like I said in prior videos, the burdens that seem to be overwhelming or too much, which I don't have too many of those anymore, I lift those up, and I'm helping you guys by telling you that this works. And if you are sincere and you're not behind the scenes trying to set somebody up for failure or do some, negative stuff to people, God will help you. Lift those burdens up and give them to him and let him know that these are too heavy for you to carry. And as I talk as a metaphor, it's like a person going up a hill with a ton of bricks on their back, and the bricks are too heavy, and it's loading them down every step that they take, you know. And then once they learn to throw those bricks off their back, they can run up that hill. And that's what I do with these burdens. And sometimes people try to send burdens your way, people who are still in toxic energy and who don't want to heal, or who are not, or may not just be on a healing journey. And so that's when I give those burdens to God, and I learn to cut off, block, and delete, as I always talk about. And I'm sharing these things with everyone here because these things work for me. And some of these things that work for me, I know that, it does work. It takes time, it's pain, and it's not easy, but it does work, and it's important. And prayer and asking God to help me. And, all of those things combined together. But it doesn't happen overnight, it takes time. Nothing venture is nothing gain. It's just like when you go to college and you have to turn in a 17-page paper, which I used to cry in the beginning when I had to do that. But in time, as you get it and catch on, you find shortcut to these things. You get the work done, but you find a way to do it, and it doesn't feel so overwhelming. And that's what I do with the grief and healing, the things that I've learned so far. And primary, having a therapist, a grief therapist, is so important because he has helped me tremendously, how to communicate my feelings when something bothers me instead of pushing it down. Because when we push those feelings and things down, or we dismiss them, they become stagnated within us, even the pain that we feel. If we don't address issues, that pain goes deeper and deeper within us, and we could become stagnated. Like when I was growing up, whatever happens in this house stays in this house. And that wasn't the right way either, because whatever stays, whatever pain that you may experience is pushed down deep within you if it's not addressed, And once you deal with it, of course, it's not going to feel good. It's going to be painful. But as you deal with it and address these issues, then those burdens are lifted, and you could be free to embrace your life, a better life, and that's what's important. And, it's important that people hear these messages, because as I say, say in prior videos as well, that there are people out there who don't talk about, who don't communicate what they're feeling, who's somewhere in a corner in pain, depression, and trauma for whatever things that may happen to them in the past, past, or the, things that happened to them recently. And they feel hopeless. And we don't want anyone to feel hopeless, because when a person loses hope, then they don't have a desire to heal or do anything else. And it's important that people can come to this channel. This is a no judgment zone, and they can hear messages here and be uplifted and encouraged and inspired. Because if I can do these things, and I did these things without having friends or anybody around me, just God, prayer, nobody there to lift me up but God, and it was hard. And, especially having a dog that was dying and I had no help, no nothing. And I did have someone from the church come at the time to help me to have the dog put down, because he was already basically gone. And it was so difficult, people. It was just, anyone who's pet lovers, your dog is like family too. And it's just difficult time. But, for the most part, the sit down, because like I said, sometimes God will sit us down and show us things that's happening that we don't see. And, once I started to see and I started to do the work, and 3 years later, 4 years almost now, but my therapist works closely with me and I still do the work with him once a week. And anyone listening to this video, some of you guys live in different states. Please go and Google a grief therapist in your area. Get in, get in contact with one, so that you can talk to different ones and see which one you connect with. It's so important, and you will never regret doing that. And just, don't rush the process. Take your time and allow yourself to go through the healing that you need to, step by step. And you're going to take a step, you may fall down, get up again, and keep doing that. And one day you're going to ride like on that bike, and you're going to feel better, and you're going to be happy that you did this work, and that's the message today. What I learned with all this pain and things that I was going through is how to turn pain into power, power into purpose, purpose into paying it forward, to help other people, to be an example, to be a testimony. And one day you can do the same thing as you start to feel better, because as you feel better, you self-care. You take care of yourself. You want to eat better, take care of your health, exercise, be at peace instead of being in pieces, and more importantly, keeping toxicity at a low. We can't get rid of all of it 100%, but what we can do, we do, and I just lift the rest up to God. So, that's the message today. I would love for you guys to continue sharing these videos with other people, because there may be people that you're sharing a video with who needs to hear the message. And you may not know what they're really going through, because some people don't share, but if they are here and they can listen to this message, privately, and they can continue to be on this channel so they can be uplifted. And yes, I have bad days too. People, someone sent me a message about that. Why do you stay, or how do you stay so positive? And I'm not every day, but I do things to lift my vibration, to bring it higher, so that I don't stay on that low vibrational level. And I've learned how to do that, to transmute that energy, and I keep my environment as positive as I can. That's important as well. And you can do the same thing. Music, things that bring you pleasure, puzzles, if you have a pet, spend time with him or her, and just doing things that is drama free is the way I'm going to say that. And as you start to do more of that, the more you want to self-care on yourself, and that's important. And also, please connect with grief bereavement groups in your area. They do them on Zoom as well. And you can hear stories of other people who are grieving just as much as you are because of losing loved ones. Some of these people have lost loved ones unexpectedly. And, that's even more pain. So connect with these groups, and you may hear something that may help you with your own grief. We never get over it, but we can always get through it. Feel better. When we feel better, we do better. Well, thank you guys. That's the message today. And thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And, I will see you guys again tomorrow. You guys have a great day. And be safe out there and buckle up because it's cold out there today, as you probably already know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is Lisa, always shedding love and light. Bye for now.